It's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Kyle, you know you see me, nigga. Pick me on your podcast. You don't put all types of shit on there. Put me on there.
Oh, this is good.
No, I'm honored to be here, and I'm very good. Have you started?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
that's good. That's
hello.
what I want. Hi. I need that. I need that because I don't know what's going on in other people's heads, and I'm like, man, I hope this person would like to come on.
No, I literally secretly in the shadows, I'm like, Maniacal Menace, Cal Smith will put me on his show. Maniacal, and there's like candles and a pentagram, red, everything. And I was like, he will put me on his show, and it's gonna be the greatest show.
I love it.
We're gonna get $1 million from it. No, I'm very grateful to be here.
Thank you for coming. I definitely needed. I need validation sometimes.
No,
just
you are valid.
I throw this into the ether, not knowing where it goes. I do get feedback from time to time. And I'm like, okay, because sometimes I sit down in a dark room by myself, like, nigga, do you want to keep doing this? It's like, yeah, I do. Like, why though? And then somebody hits me up, was like, hey man, that shit was dope. And I'm like, there it is. That's why I do it. So it ain't no stopping now. Shit, I done bought all this equipment. I better keep it.
You gotta put this shit to use.
And boom. What's up? Welcome back, goddammit, to another edition of Tell Me a Joke, the guideline of chasing the dream. I've been your host, Maniacal Menace. Kyle Smith said the whole thing like a pimp named Slickback. And on side of me with the beautiful dress on today, we are outside at the post on the roof. It's R in the elevator if you want to get to the roof. On the roof, goddammit, we have Laji. How you doing?
Yes.
Oh, we can clap you up.
Oh, thank you.
We got
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, this is good. How's your week been?
Man, okay, so my week has been good. Let me start, because I need to do a better job of not complaining. Be grateful.
I feel
my week has been good. I am employed, so I think that's important.
That's always nice.
That's important.
Yeah.
I'm a learning coach. I teach. I teach math at Yates High School. I mostly work with 9th graders, but honestly, some of them 9th graders should have been 12th graders, but that's a different conversation.
I feel that.
That's a good week. Good week teaching the black and brown kids.
Hey, there you go. Because they need to know these numbers.
They do.
Especially if they're going to try to run these streets. You got to, learn your math skills.
For real. How you going to count
for shorting somebody?
They do.
Yeah, that's good. Like, so how do you combat that with your other life when it comes to poetry?
Ooh, 2 lives. I think my work as an educator feeds well into what I do in poetry. I think as an educator, it's taught me to be on my shit when in terms of like timing, being on time with things, being organized, being intentional and building relationships. Being able to be an expert even when you're not sure if you're an expert, learning, being growing. And honestly, kids, one thing about them, they will tell you about yourself even when you ask them. Like, they will give you the tea and the rundown.
They're so honest.
They're so too honest. And so I've learned a lot of important lessons from teaching and educating that I've only started really doing education in October of last year, so I'm very new to it. But I've learned so much.
Were you nervous before you started?
Hell yeah! Scary ass, dirty ass kids.
After we just finished COVID, these kids are a cesspool. Yeah. I like to mention this most of the time. I had a stint of teaching. I taught a week of mad science. I did mad science for a week, and I taught some 7 to 11-year-olds.
Okay,
I had about 8 to 10 of them, and they was just like, "Hey, like this is part of your." Instead of just doing birthdays, we also teach a school for the summer, and I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I'm thinking that I'm gonna be like a teacher's assistant or something like that. It was like, hey, your background check came back good. All right, have these kids. And I'm like, yo, hold on, wait. You can't just leave me with kids.
Right.
I'm not a diddler or nothing like that. But yo, like, don't just. I'm a kid my damn self. At heart, I'm still a child.
Right.
I can't just be with these. What we gonna do? And
Right.
I got chemicals. You want me to show them chemicals? Like, and I don't even know how to use these chemicals yet. I had to teach myself the night before and then teach them the day of. And I'm like, oh, shit. All right, man, y'all sit down, all right? We ain't making airplanes at the end of the day if y'all don't shut up, you know? I just couldn't tell them fuck, you know? I just had to make sure I kept that in myself.
Right.
It was like, oh, my goodness. And that was right before the pandemic happened. And so, like, you seen the pandemic stirring up, and then you seen the infestation that these kids were starting to bring to the school. And I'm like, oh, y'all gonna get everybody sick. Because they had this one little boy that was in there. His daddy was never around. So it was just his mama that took care of him. And his mama took care of him on leisurely. Like, she didn't really discipline him as much. You can tell, because the other kids were good. This kid, he gave no fucks. He was told not to bring his toys to school, and he brought his toys to school anyway. And so there was this other little kid that was in there, and he was a little older, and he was a little bully. He was a little bully. So he would take his toys and then not give them back. And it's like, well, this is what you get, because your mama told you not to bring these toys. And the thing that made me mad about it was because, like, he was just trying to share his toy. He wanted to make friends, but he don't know how to act around other kids because he didn't have that type of home training. So when this other kid came and took his shit, he was just like, oh yeah, we playing. And then he wouldn't give it back. And he's like, wait, what happened to us playing? I'm like, nah, man, you just got had. Like, you got to learn. Like, this kid don't want to fuck with you because you're bad. You're a bad little child. But, you know, you just don't know yet. And so there are hard lessons that he had to learn. And I seen when he came in, like, he would be one of them people that would sneeze out in the open, just, achah, and then wipe his nose and then wipe it on everything. And I'm like, no.
You ever see the cat meme where, like, the cat is coughing and is like, that's how kids be coughing in school. Whole mouth open, all germs.
Yeah,
no decorum.
That's exactly what that was. I seen him sneeze directly in the child's face. I was like, yo, turn your head or something. Cover your mouth, man. I know your mama told you to cover your mouth before you cough or sneeze. He was just like, I'm going to cough. Back to coloring. I'm like, nah, give me your stuff. I'm about to spritz this down real. It was something else. And it was a learning lesson. Like, it was something that taught me, like, because I don't mind being put in the shit. Like, it's fine. Like, I like to actually put myself through situations to where it's like, all right, nigga, how you going to get out of this? Like, you here now. Like, what you gonna do? And so that it's those kind of like building blocks for me that help me build myself as a person. Just because I'm like, all right, now I can say that I have done this. Now I can say that I've actually been in a situation to where I don't know if I'd be able to handle this or not, and I've gotten through it. And I'm like, I got this. This ain't nothing, you know. But you know, to do it again, don't ask me to do it again. Nah, like you got me that one time. Yeah, I thought you was gonna have somebody here. We was gonna be helping each other. Nah, they left me for the wolves.
No.
I'm like,
If there's anything about education, they will leave you out in them streets.
Yes, yeah.
With them kids.
It's like, we got somebody to watch our child. All right, here you go. And you got ninth graders. Woo. And you teaching them math. Yeah, math is not fun.
No, and the gag is they all are sort of aware that we not finna use this math in our day to day, and so they try to pull that on you, like, I ain't gonna use this in the store. I ain't gonna use this in real life. I'm just like, well, you need to use your brain, okay? Yeah. You don't know how to write. You don't know how to, like, you need to do your brain justice. Yeah. And do definitely something with it.
Definitely.
You know, you need to know how to think. This is what's
gonna get you to pass this class.
Yeah, pass this class so you can get the money you're hoping to get. Otherwise, you're finna be pipelined all the way down to something else, and we don't want that for you.
If you're not good at math, guess what's out the door? Which is the easy job. Cashier. Can't do that. Can't be a cashier, and cashier is one of the easier jobs to get. So you definitely, unless you're going unless you're just gonna be out there trying to hustle or something like that. Like,
Even hustling, you gotta
hustling
think.
is definitely math skills.
You gotta use your
It's definitely
brain.
math
You can't
skills.
just be out there like la-di-da, like, sorry.
Yeah, I got a cousin that can't read, but boy, his math skills is on point.
Hey.
Yeah, he can weigh up a gram too with just his hand. He's like, bang, man, that's an eighth right there.
That's it right
That's
there.
an eighth right there. You owe me this much. It's like,
Take
nigga,
one
how you
flake
know? I'm about to put this on a scale. Hold on, son. Let me put that on a scale. I'm like, ooh, bitch, that's good. You all right? Give me a little more now. Put a little more extra in there. Yeah.
No, that's the thing. They all have their different hopes and dreams, and as an educator, your job is to convert that dream into motivation.
Yeah.
And whether they want to be a real estate agent, a nurse, a doctor, or your street pharmacist, you have to make that connection of like, listen, even if you want to be towing it on the street, you need to know how much you're towing.
You definitely need it.
You need to be able to read between the lines. You need to be able to understand situations and learn to have like a sense of, strategy with whatever you're doing. But
you know what kids need to be taught? Spatial awareness. I think that's a good thing. To be able to read other body language. I think that's a nice art. That's a nice skill that eventually I had to acquire along my journey of being an entertainer. Being able to read an audience and how to read somebody's feelings and emotions. Because like nowadays people don't understand. It's like, oh, you know how sometimes when people are like, hey man, why would you like read the room? Like why would you say something like that? Most people don't know how to read the room or read other people's emotions to where it's just like, oh, you just gonna dig deep into it now. How you already know that people are feeling uncomfortable, but you just gonna add on top of that. Do you not care? You do care. Oh, but you just didn't understand that this is how people were feeling because you couldn't tell that. Yeah, but I don't know how you would like. I guess there's like some type of psychiatrist or psychologist that would be able to write that down or something like that. But I only went to college for 2 years, I was like, psychology was not.
That's still something.
Yeah,
that can get you a little associate.
Yeah, for real. That is true. That is true. I did it for about 2 years, and I was like, all right, what am I doing this for? Like, I went to college for drama as a major. Was it my major? And biology as a minor. Well, one of them. It was one of them. They flip flop. I didn't do neither of them. So it was just like I
just vibes.
I like biology, but the biology labs and all the other shit. I was like, school wasn't for me. It wasn't. Real. I couldn't, like, once I got out, I was like, I definitely don't want to do this. I don't have the attention span for this. If it's not interesting to me, I'm not gonna give a fuck about it.
Real.
Like, but I was very intelligent though. But I was like, I don't want to do this. And if you're gonna make me do this, I'm gonna be combative about it.
Man, you sound like at least 80% of my kids.
I was just about to say
80% of my kids are just like that.
This could definitely be a class.
And it's like I get it. And the hard part with math is that it's a core subject, so that means they have to take it whether or not they like it.
Whether they like it or not, and it's so hard to find that buy-in for them, but. One way is to just kind of trick them niggas into being like the other day, because you just have to learn the rules of the trade, and sometimes I'll just be like, hey, listen, if you don't care about your education and you insecure about what you don't know, that's fine. Just keep that shit to yourself. Right.
There's people in here that care about their education that want to learn and put themselves ahead. So if you don't care, that's fine. Just shh about it.
Right.
When I said that, they was like, no, I care about my education. I care about what I
care.
Yeah, they do. Like, because the thing about high schoolers, they don't want you to show them up. They don't want you to prove them that they are not able to do, what they think they're capable of doing. So when you pose this kind of thing of like, hey, if you don't care about your education, that's fine. There's people that do. And the thing about that is using that psychology, as you said, using the psychology of where a high schooler is. I studied human development in college. High school is a big time for identity development. It's where you really become the person you are, or at least the foundations of who you are. And in that state of mind, you're not really listening to what the adults are saying. You're listening to what your peers are doing. Yeah. So if I'm using that tactic of like, well, your peers care about their education. If you don't care about what your peers are doing during that time, then that's fine.
Oh, that's a good tactic.
And then once they know that, my peers are locking in, let me not
I don't want to get left behind. Yeah. You see all those movies where it's Superbad. Superbad was one of those movies to where it's like, hey, we going to this college, and you not going because you didn't get in.
Yeah.
Or there's a few movies like that. It's like you fucking up. Like we told you, like, I could have helped you with this shit, but you fucking up. Now we ain't gonna be rooming together because you can't get in.
Yeah,
you can't get in. Accepted was another one. Accepted was the other movie with Justin Long, and that was Jonah Hill's first big break right there. And I really resonated with that movie just because I'm like, oh, this is exactly what me and my friends went through. Like, cause my homie that I went to school with, like, he was smart, but he didn't know what he was doing after high school. So he went to the Air Force. And I was like, oh,
they be recruiting like a motherfucker.
Yeah, he's doing well now. Okay. You know, this nigga got a Lexus and a boat. I was like, all right, my nigga. He's been all over the world.
40 acres and a mule.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the skin color for it, too. I'm like, go ahead, son, do your thing. Like me, I was just like, nah, my people want me to go to college. You know, I was just like, I wanted to follow my brother's footsteps, and I wanted to become a Marine, which was not a good thing at the time. At the time, Bush was sending niggas to war, and my grandma was like, hell no, you better get your education. Right. I was like, all right, I guess. You know, I went there. I went to school for 2 years, and I was like, I don't care about this at all. Like, this is drama. I thought drama was gonna be me acting. Not when you go there. Not when you do drama in college. Drama in college is like, hey, you want to know where it came from? No.
I don't care.
Like, here, read Aristotle. I'm like, nigga, I don't give a fuck about Aristotle. Nigga, teach me how to be an actor on stage. I'm trying to be in showbiz. You know, no, you don't get none of that. It's like stage left, stage right, stand in the center. And like, this is not what I thought it was going to be at all. Yeah, so I dropped that like a bad habit. I was like, no, don't want this. The biology, it was fun at certain points, but things were too early in the morning. I was like, oh, can't do this.
No, like, why do all the scientists be at 7 o'clock in the dawn? Like, excuse you.
I had a Spanish class that was for 7 in the morning. I was like, what? You want me to learn Spanish for 3 hours? And then you ain't gonna refresh me from high school? Like, I know I did good, but in high school Spanish compared to college Spanish,
different world.
Just give me my conjugate verbs again. Like, I need to relearn
what happened to KOIS?
Yeah.
Like, you know, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened to the New Orleans?
Senor Smith, did you not study? Fuck no, I didn't study. Looking at ass last night. What you mean was I studying?
No, they'd be crazy in college because there'd be no room for English. Straight on. No. I know my friends who went and did language courses in college. They'd be like, yeah, first day is and completely different language. Like, no vibes, no welcome. Just like, straight.
You can't get a fucking Rosetta Stone or something?
Not even like, a rock. Rosetta's rocking.
I felt so embarrassed. She shitted on me immediately.
Oh my god!
Because I came there late. I couldn't find a class. I arrived late as a month. Not that late, but I arrived late enough to have everybody in there and look at me as she spoke to me in Spanish. I'm like, bitch, I don't know what you're saying right now.
I'm offended.
Yeah. Like, nah, yeah, I went and dropped that shit with the quickness. I'm like, nah, I ain't. This is just not gonna be one of my electives. I'll tell you that. I'm not about to have it. And, you know, that's just because I didn't give a fuck about it in school. It was fun to learn in high school, but, like, that's because you're learning into it, and it was simple shit. But when you get to college, they don't care about any of that. Yeah. They're like, you should be an adult now. It's like, we're not adults yet.
Yeah,
we're still not adults yet. Still a child.
Still babies.
Yeah, like, so can you at least give me some type of assistance? You can come to tutoring. What? You gonna take some more of my day away? No. Yeah, that in truth.
And that makes me sad that, like, you kind of felt discouraged from doing that, because I think as educators, your responsibility is to, again, get that buy-in from your students and show them, like, even if we have to learn why the fuck Aristotle taught about drama, at least make it fun, make it interesting. Like, I saw, boom, this is the tea, this is the history, you know, and then, like, get into, and, like, you know, that real world application is so important. And see, if they miss that, then.
Yeah, because there's there's people that like to learn, and then there's people like me that I'm not a person that's about to read shit. Like if you're not gonna read it to me, like I'm not about to. You gave me a whole thick book and it was like I need you to read the first 3 chapters. What? The first 3 chapters? It's like over 1,000 pages. I'm not about to sit down and read this. I can't.
Right.
Like I don't have the mental capacity to sit down and read anything without my head going off for the first sentence, being like, "What they doing tomorrow?"
Right.
You know. So like and that's something that I didn't understand until I got older. Like I just thought I had a learning disability. I thought because my dad then was like, "What's wrong with him?" I was like, yeah, "My dad didn't put me on hooked on phonics." I was like, "What the fuck? I can read." Then I was like,
Something over that
something
boy.
wrong with you. You can't comprehend shit.
That boy
I was
different.
I was like, I can't comprehend anything. It is terrible to try to comprehend whatever I'm reading. But as I got older, I understand what it was now. Like my brain is moving too fast for me to sit still and just comprehend anything that I'm taking in. But I learned that if I'm read to, or if somebody reads to me, or if it's read to me, or if I see it, somehow I can retain that information. Other than that, like, no, I never did the reading material over the summertime. Like that
reading material. And that shit don't even be considerate. You think on a nice summer 75-degree day, my buns is out, you want me to read the beginning of the world? No, I'm out here to be doing hood rat shit.
Not
what
at
you
all.
talking
Not at all. I'm about to be in these streets,
in these streets.
What do you mean you want me to
In these
read?
streets.
I got
I'm trying to read between the lines of the roads.
Summer
okay?
is my summer. This is the 3 months for me to have to where I ain't got to think about this shit. I'm outside riding bikes, playing skateboard and everything. I don't know how you play skateboard, but you get it. I'm out on some wheels right now. And trying to enjoy and live life. I'm being a kid. You want me to read? No. Like I remember my dad and them telling you got some reading assignments. Yeah, all right, sure.
You got some reading
I go sit in my room for the allotted time that you want me to sit in there for. And then I'm not gonna do shit. Like I'm gonna look at that book. Like I actually went through the whole Hooked on Phonics, and I was like, I finished them. I finished all these tapes. Very interesting. I don't think this is gonna help with what my problem is. Like I got in class and I understood who could read and who couldn't read, and I was like, I'm not that nigga. I'm not him at all.
Right.
I could definitely read, like, but it was just, it was so much. I was like, these, like, what does this mean, Daddy? Like, do you think that I'm having trouble with words? Do you think it's dyslexia or something like that?
No,
No.
And you have to learn how other people learn. I have this student in this class because I help support 3 algebra classes, and this nigga be knocked every class just straight on the table, like gone. And so lately I've been trying to encourage him to do his work, get the notes, do his thing, and I think he's starting to respond to that. And the other day I was working with him trying to work through a problem, and every step of the way he'd be like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. I don't get what he's doing on the board, but I get what you're doing here. And I'm just like, what I'm doing on this paper with you is exactly what's on the board.
Yeah.
But I told him, like, don't feel discouraged about how you learn. Like, people learn in different ways, and if you learn in a different way, that's all right. Like, just get what you need to get, nigga. You don't have to like feel. And that's the thing that's so common with our kids. We don't even realize. I don't got no kids. So when I say kids, I just mean my metaphorical
right
kids,
these ones that I'm teaching.
The ones that I'm teaching. But the thing with our kids is they be so discouraged. They've been told, like, you got to understand the brainwashing and the programming you get from being a black kid all the way up to your teens and in adulthood. You're already told from day one that you ain't shit, you ain't gonna be shit, you never was shit. And so your job as an educator, or just being a black figure, adult there, is to combat that and fight that and give them love and pour into them. And I just told him, like, listen, if you learn differently, that's okay. It's not a crime to like need assistance or need to learn.
I definitely needed this as a child. To know that I learned differently. My dad knows now, but he was like, I didn't know what was wrong with you. I was like, me neither, Daddy.
And it's a learning process. It's a learning. No one gets it right. I'm not an expert in this at all. But I just come from a place of empathy and knowing that at the end of the day, my mission is for black people and niggas. Like my purpose is niggas and to help us in any way that I can. And so if that means to encourage a student, like, hey, you're capable of doing this. Like, don't feel like you can't. Let me help you. And it's a beautiful thing, and it's been nice to see him grow and try and give
good.
effort, and like he may not know it, but he's still trying though. I had a student
right there you go.
I
was about to say you about to have me edit. Oh shit!
There was I felt my job just almost flipped away from me. Wait, give me my little $2.
He got it.
But I have a student who, anti doing any type of work. And again, you just got to bully them into doing the work. And you got to use that reverse psychology of like, nigga, you ain't finna do no work. You ain't finna get this question. They're like, yes, I will. Yes, I will. Watch me do it. And watch them do it.
Okay.
And they'll push and they'll keep pushing through.
Hell
My favorite thing is when a student tries to show you off, like, look, I got this grade. Yeah,
Ooh.
check it. And it's just like, oh, I bet you can't get an A though. And they're like, watch me do it. And you just gotta use that reverse psychology to encourage them and push them.
Know. They learning at that time,
and
trying to show somebody up.
Exactly.
You're like, boom, I got an A. Like, good job. That's what you should have been doing. Had to bully you into doing that.
That's how you gotta do it.
That's amazing. Like, I wish because you teaching these kids variables and X's and A's and shit. The thing that we won't use ever in life, like algebra. Oh my God, algebra. Like I use the Pythagorean theorem from time to time to find a good angle on things because being an electrician, I got to bend pipe and shit.
Right.
If A squared plus B squared equals C squared, shit like that. That's helpful.
All right.
That is helpful, but that is the only thing that I use when it comes to that. Now when you become an electrician, it's like more. I almost waved at that lady, thinking that she waving at me. I'm so sorry. I'm all over the place.
Maybe she wanted to say hello. Maybe
most people do. I saw them kids behind us. They was like, "Oh, they got a camera." I'll still be everywhere while I'm in conversation. But man, I was just like, "No, man," because now that I do electrical, I was like, I thought I'd be done with fractions. No, the tape measure got number fractions on that motherfucker. I'm like, God damn it. All right, and I'm really good at fractions now, just because I look at it like a tape measure. But before, it's like, this is confusing. But, now that I do electrical, there's other formulas that I had to learn. And I'm like, again with the formulas? It's like, you need to know what Ohm's law is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in a pie wheel? Oh, my God, why? It's so you don't blow nobody's house up. Oh,
exactly.
Okay. All right.
Word,
I feel you.
On God.
I feel you on that. That's
on the
all right.
homies.
All right. I got it. People's life is in my hands now. So this is necessary. All right. I feel you.
And that's important. You gotta. I think we need to do a better job with educating our kids by not keeping too many things a secret. Like, instead of just saying, hey, you got to learn this because you got to learn this, you got to be like, hey, you got to learn this because X, Y, and Z. And one thing about me, I'm going to tell them kids why I tell them a rule and why it happens.
Oh,
and when I say keep your hands to yourself or like stop that rough playing, they be like, oh, we just playing. I'm just like, no. When you play like that, you start to escalate and then you be friends in 1 second. And the next thing you know, we got Naruto and Ko in the building. And so you just got to, sometimes I'm just a big believer in like
it's a good reference.
In human development, you learn that babies, children, kids, they are much more smarter and much more capable in understanding the world than you think. And so I don't like to have this fake curtain of like, oh, it's a mystery while you're learning this. Mr. Miyagi said. No, it's like, nah, nigga, you got to do this because if you don't, it's going to be X, Y, and Z. Yeah. And kids will respect that. They'll be like, all right, on God, unfold them. And they respect it. They respect, you being straight up because they're so used to being coddled and lied to. I'm just like, you don't have to lie to kids. It doesn't mean you throw them into the fiery pits, but you show them what they need to know and why they need to know it and give them the reasoning. Even if they don't fully understand it, at least you're telling them there's a purpose behind it. So they know that, okay, I'm not just doing this for shit's sake. There's a reason why I'm doing this.
How is it with teaching now that the world has become like fully immersed into the internet age, to where like they have the internet basically at the palm of their hands?
Listen, ChatGPT, count your days. You get me?
Yeah,
count your days.
Look, come on.
Look, count your days, man.
All right, he waved.
Listen, these kids will get on ChatGPT, Google, Math, open source, and be like, yeah, I'm gonna get the answer, and they'll just circle the answer, have no clue how to do the problem. You ask them to show their work, they be like, oh no, I just did it in my head. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You don't even know 11 times 11. Don't even play with me right now. And so, like, I think technology is good if you know what you're using it for, but these students are using it as a crutch, and I think there is some, no offense, there's some space in our curriculum that is allowing them to use it as a crutch rather than a tool that will help them understand what they're doing. And
wow.
I
didn't
think
even think of that deep.
Yeah, and you know, that's the thing with technology. It's going to advance, it's going to go, and you just have to get with the times. But I like to be like, hey, listen, I'm a little old school. I'm going to show you how to do this by hand, because you don't always need the certain platforms to do the math. You can just do it by hand and understand the problem, and there is fun in being able to move the numbers and understand where you get wrong, because sometimes ChatGPT and co is wrong. They be getting shit wrong, and the kids don't have that sense of discernment because they don't know what it means to go through the process.
They just automatically, because this is what it is. They think it's going to be
That's
right.
The answer. Exactly. That analysis, that critical thinking is such a big thing, and
wow.
we are missing it real bad. So if you are a parent out there, please teach your kids to think, teach them to be, have discernment, teach them how to differentiate certain things, teach them the process of things, because they'll be like, oh yeah, the computer told me this. I'm just like, that computer was made by a white man in Omaha who ain't got no play in the past 5 years, and
he finished school.
He finished school, but he's finished in life. Yeah. Like, just try and have some discernment there, and just teaching them that it's hard, but it's worthwhile.
Wow. Like I've like in my day growing, like trying to learn things, especially when it came to that summer reading that I didn't do. I tried to, they was like, you can go online and get the Cliff Notes, huh? I was like, Cliff Notes? Nigga, what? They had somebody that read this already and summarized the book? You can read the back of the book. I have to read the back of it? The back of it's got the summary. I'm like, for real? They don't tell you who the people are. And not To Kill a Mockingbird. They don't tell you about Boo Radley and all them. So it's just like, oh, okay. When those questions came up on the test, I just had to make sure I took an educated guess. It was uneducated like a motherfucker, though. But I guessed my ass off.
A GED guess.
If I mark C here, I got a 50% chance that some of these are going to be correct. And nowadays, it's like there's a lot of things that I like to do, especially when it comes to the age of the internet. Like we've been past just the age of, like the internet has grown to an adult now, and it is out of its teenage phase. The internet, I guess it would be in its 30s or something like that.
I feel like maybe mid-20s.
Mid-20s? Yeah.
I feel like she's still going to the cashier and getting her card declined type shit. Like, because some of that ChatGPT is not all there. So her card's still getting declined a little bit. But one day she's going to get her big girl job. And it's going to be different. But it's up there, though. It's up there, for sure.
I wean myself off of it from time to time because I catch, because TikTok is the devil, but it also teaches you everything. Like I was telling you earlier, like my child is 2 months and he's using the pot, not on his own reconnaissance, but he's using the pot to where when he gets on it, he knows what to do. And it's like, where'd you learn that? TikTok taught me. God damn it. Stay the fuck. I mean, keep learning, but I refused to put it on my phone until I was like, it might help you with your career. And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
So now I'm using it. I utilize it, but I see what TikTok does that other sites don't do. And like as soon as I put TikTok on my site, it automatically throws up like a video that I might be interested in.
Oh yeah.
Immediately. It's like, boom, look at that.
Machine
you like
learning,
that?
they be learning.
And you're like, oh shit, let me show you 30 seconds of this, and boom, you like that too? And it's like, oh shit, hold on. I just came in here to shit. Like, what are we doing? I don't want to be scrolling, but now I'm scrolling and then my booty hole dry. Like, where do I go from here? I'm supposed to be taking a shower right now, and apparently TikTok got me locked on dumb shit that I like, and it's like, god damn it. Like Instagram and shit don't put shit up immediately up in your face like that. So it's just like, no, I just wanted to go to my page to see what was happening on there. If somebody sent me a message, no, it just threw that in. And when I tried to back out of TikTok, TikTok's like, oh, you want to see another TikTok? And I'm like, no. I gotta hit that button twice. Apparently, iPhones are different, but I got an Android, so it's like, nah, you can't get away from me that easily. I'm like, golly.
No androids were harmed in the making of this video. But no, I felt I used to actually work for TikTok in the HR. Yes. So before education, I was in HR in the big tech. Fuck them big tech companies.
Yeah.
For the layoffs. But it's all right. It's all right. We moved. We changed. But I did used to work for TikTok, and I think their algorithm takes about 10-ish minutes or so of you being on there for the first time. Like the first time you ever created an account, open the app to figure out who you are and what you like.
It takes 10 minutes to
It does not take very long for it to figure out. Like humans, we have a pattern we tell on ourselves even when we don't tell on ourselves.
Oh, that is scary.
And that algorithm will figure you out like a motherfucker.
Yo.
Yeah. Even the stuff you think was secret to yourself, it'll be like, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
We know you got some trauma.
Yeah,
Let's
my
talk
thoughts
about it.
right now. Like, what the yeah, because like I knew like the more apps that become prominent and the more apps that I have on my phone like that, the more I'm like, oh no, I gotta put this thing down. And I know I need to use it to better my career into entertainment, because this is what it is at the moment. But every time I do something like that, like it always jumps to something different. Like, and the reason I'm in Texas is because I went out to LA because everybody said you need to go to LA. And you got LA and New York. That's the meccas if you want to make it into comedy. I'm like, all right, cool. Boom. I went out to LA, and LA was a cesspool of just hateful people. And I'm like, this is not what I grew up with. Like, this is not me. I don't like this. I don't like this energy. I don't like this feel out here. Like, there's a lot of gatekeepers, and I'm like, this didn't benefit me at all. I mean, it benefited me a little bit to where it moved my poetry side, because that's what I mostly did. That's where I felt the most comfortable at, because the comics out there, they were just like, oh, that's a nice joke. I'm gonna take that. And it's like, nigga, this is my life. How you just gonna take it? You just gonna take it and not give me no type of compensation? Right. And so that happens. You got a lot of people that just be out there. I like to call them the little SpongeBob green little plankton people. They're not plankton, but the little other green people that was always around that one guy that acted like the king. Yeah. They got a lot of people out there like that. They got a lot of those little green motherfuckers and that one person that all of them will be around. It's like, yeah, this person's gonna make it. Yeah, this person's doing well. You need some water? What you need? I can go get it for you. You want me to go get it? I'm like, nigga, is you a comic too? It's like, yeah. It's like, why you ain't out doing these mics? Because you ain't as good as this person. No. When she makes it, she's gonna take us with her. But she not though. Right. Like I'm her real friend. Like what the, like for real? I'm pretty sure you're gonna get left behind. Like, you ain't her family. I'm her real friend, and I know that eventually when that happens, I won't be as seen as much as her family will. Like, because that's family, so she got to see them regardless. But when it comes to other friends, like, you ain't gonna have time for that when you get older. And people don't realize that, but they just feel as if, if we can, stay together for this long, if I can go ahead and just touch the hem of his garment, then I can go ahead and get some of that power. And it's like, no, man, it don't work that way. And I saw a lot of that out there. And I'm like, this is icky, yo. I don't want none of this. And then I dipped out right before the pandemic happened. And then I was like, it was something, because like I said, I'm hell on the acid. So I know there was one time I was out of my mind, and I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, this is not the place for me, like at all. Like, everybody was saying that's where you need to go ahead and make it. I was good enough to make it, but I wasn't doing enough to get to where I needed to go, because I still needed to eat and survive. Like, I still needed to be able to pay my bills and shit, because they don't tell you that. Like, I'm not about to be out here fucking Steve Harveying it, basically, and he was a lie. We find that out later, thanks Cat, that he didn't sleep in his car. Like, you motherfuckers like, oh yeah, I needed to sleep in my car to make it. You don't need to do that at all. Like, that is not like, if you have the means, you can definitely do other things around that.
Probably do more.
Right. Like, I have a great skill to where I do electrical, so I was able to survive for a whole year out there with just having one job. Everybody out in LA got like 3 jobs, and they're like, oh, I can't do that today. I gotta go do this, and I gotta do this, and then we're gonna be shooting for this sketch, and we're gonna be doing this, and I'm gonna have this, and I'm like, damn. Like, this is a beautiful city. Like, this is a beautiful state. Like, when do you have time for yourself? If you ain't got family out here or parents or anything like that out here, how are you surviving? I know most of the people that I knew out there, they were surviving from military stipends. And I'm like, bitch, you getting money.
Right.
Like, you ain't got to work for this money. They just giving it to you because you got hurt. And I'm like, this is the facade. Like, this, I'm not going to be able to do this. And people saw it in my face. They was like, Kyle, you don't look happy. I'm like, I don't look it? Nah, I'm not. I'm glad that we got real friends.
And honestly, everything you just said gives me 2 points. One, I feel like AI and internet gives people that third voice, that third counselor that doesn't have that predatory vibe to it.
Yeah.
So to us, we were able to go to ChatGPT or any of these AI resources and like, I need you to help me with no benefits for you. I just need you to purely help me get on and get what I need to this exact specification, and you get no benefits. And I think that's why it's so big, because people are realizing that a lot of the people that are supposed to help you have a lot of things on their own agendas. And so I think it offers this side of like, yeah, give me what you need and I'll help you provide you with what you need with no problem, with no strings attached. And obviously the string attached is your data and your privacy, but it does offer this sense of like, someone can help me and they don't judge me. They don't, put anything that's wrong in there. I just know I'm going to get clean cut, helpful information, and that's going to give you what I need to go. And then your second point, to that facade of success and what it means to go from struggle to making it big time. A lot of the people that's famous out there, go and look at their Wikipedia pages. They parents being the blue hyperlink. Okay, people underestimate what it takes to be successful. Like, to be in the arts, to be a creative, like, it requires extra money and sacrifice, and that extra money ain't gonna come from the bottom of your hopes and dreams and your ass. Like, it's gonna come from expendable finance and money that you have available. And if you are wealthy, like, you just really have the upper hand in art, like, to buy the equipment, to get the best connections, to find the places to be in a place like New York and LA, where cost of living is crazy, astronomical, right? The Nigerian in me was like, astronomical. You saw me struggle. You said, let me help this lady out. It's astronomical. Astronomical. Thank you. But no, the whole idea of facade of help and what it takes to be successful is really, really strong. And yeah, a lot of your big time people that made it from the ground up, they had somebody in their life.
It's always somebody in the background.
Someone in the background. You don't make it by yourself, or
it's never alone like that. And this is I find this out the hard way, and this is another reason why I have this podcast. Tell me a joke, a guideline of chasing the dream, because there's no guideline to chase this dream. Nobody tells you the backstories of what actually the fuck it takes to do what you got to do. And 4 years in, and I'm not struggling, but it's a struggle because I'm not where I want to be, and now I go through this little mental gymnastics of in my head, like, oh, nigga, you see all these people doing big numbers on Instagram and all that. How you feel about that, nigga? You ain't getting no likes. And it's like, oh shit, am I not doing what I got to do? But then you come and you tell me, oh man, I hope this nigga get me on his podcast. I just want to, boom, seance, Kyle, put me on your shit. And it's like, oh, they got people out there that want to be on here like that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Somebody just hit me up the other day. It's like, hey, man, what it take to get on your podcast? I was like, this right here, just, hit me up just like that. And it's like, oh.
Closed mouths don't get fed, because the way I was like, I just got to wait for him to ask me. He going to ask me one day. I didn't know I could have just asked.
Yeah. That's how the culture came on. She's like, hey, when you get me on? I'm like,
now.
Yeah. Whenever. I need people. This is good. I don't like to talk. I mean, I do like to talk to myself. Most of the time, I just sit in the room and I just speak
realest
out
nigga in the room is yourself.
Yeah. Oh, I go on tangents. It's like, and I sometimes stop and think to myself. I'm like, nigga, who are you talking to?
Me.
I don't know. I guess that now that I have a camera, sometimes I can look at myself and be like, "Hey, bitch, we talking to you right here." And it's like, this is for you. You bringing out these thoughts to talk to yourself, to tell yourself, if ever you go back to listen to this, like this can be helpful, you know. But like Ali Sadiq, I was listening to him lately, and he was talking about because people like to point out that he is somebody that made it from his city, from his state, that ain't never left his state. Like he ain't have to go to other places to actually become what he is now. And it's like, damn, like, but he had the means to do that. It seems like when I look at my city, because I'm from New Orleans, like, so when I look at my city, it's like we don't have clubs or anything like that, but my city is somebody that just like right after Katrina, like we not about to just let this shit go. Like we gonna rebuild, and like that's what they do. Like we are a very resilient bunch. Like so the resilienceness of the people that I do know that are down there have built something to where it is sturdy, to where regardless of if there's a bad time or a good time, it's still on the come up. It's still on the rise, and you see more shit happening for them now, and it's just like, damn it, did I fuck up by leaving? I didn't fuck up by leaving because I got a house and land now. But, you know, I definitely would understand that I would not have had that if I would have stayed there. If I would have stayed there, I wouldn't have found the people in the community that I have now. I wouldn't have the camaraderie. I wouldn't have all these other friends to introduce to other people. Like, now that I've met Amir, like, I've introduced Amir to somebody down in New Orleans because he was just like, hey, man, you from New Orleans? We've been trying to get out to New Orleans, do our thing down there. And I'm like, oh, man, I know the perfect person. Boom, I hit him up with somebody. They got things in the work now. And so he going to be moving back to New Orleans, back and forth to New Orleans to try to do shit down there with wine poetry. And I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. So this was a reason for me to actually to branch out. It's like I'm like a little magnet just to connect people to other people. Because I do know people. So the networking side of me is just like, no, you're doing your purpose. You know, it's just what I'm doing. It's gonna take some time. Yeah. And you know, I'm looking at it like, man, I'm about to be, I'll be 39 in March. All right. And so I got one more year to 40. And it's like, how you feel about that, nigga? And it's like, I don't know. Like, do things slow down when you get older?
I mean, Future 40, so
everybody that I know, all of my favorite comedians that I know, they're starting to really blow up now, and they already in their 50s, and they have just gotten better. And so it's just like, no, you good. You just keep doing what you're doing. Like, you will get seen when your time comes. You know, I'm an impatient person, so it's hard. It's hard. How do you deal with patience?
Ooh, patience, man. I deal with patience by fire, by force. I was just about to comment that NOLA, there's something very spiritual about that space. And I think it comes from that resiliency that you talked about, being able to still create when there's even nothing there. And I think that is the science of magic, being able to create with absolutely nothing there. And so NOLA is a very spiritual space. But patience, I think for me, patience looks like no's and rejections, and looks like rough times and shit not going the way you want and not going the way it's planned, and you having to eat that up and keep pushing.
That is it right there.
That is the science of patience.
That is exactly what it is.
What happens when shit actually doesn't go the way you plan, and how do you continue to be resilient and continue to push forward? I actually had a tattoo that said resilient on my fingy here. Now it says re for reply. So maybe that's a sign there for what I need to be. But
redo and reuse.
Redo and reuse. Come on, preach. There's actually a time when I was doing math and science at elementary school, and renewable energy was the thing I was teaching my kids, and I had to practice the art of renewable energy because I had a really badass kid. Anyways, but patience really does come from, what do you do when things are not sweet? What do you do when things are not, you know, exactly where they're supposed to be. What is your character in those moments?
Yeah.
And patience is not supposed to, I don't know. People try to make patience. I'm calm. I'm patient. I move with the trees and the winds. And obviously, ideally, that's what you like to be. But me, patience looks like grumbling. And sometimes I be cursing God out personally. I just be having beef with God. Like, what do you mean? No. What do you mean?
It's not time yet.
What do you mean? It's not now. Nigga, it's ready. I'm
ready. I'm feeling by the time I am ready. I'm not gonna be ready.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's a lot of that. A lot of that thinking is happening.
Yes.
But like, every time I get put in a situation to where I felt as if I wasn't ready, like I was more than ready. I was like, oh shit. Okay. I see what's happening. All right. It's like riding a bicycle. Like, I'm not gonna forget how to ride the bicycle. As you put me on this bicycle again, I know how to ride it. Like, I've gotten the balance down and the keys to get the things moving. I got that. Like swinging. Like, once you learn how to swing, you don't never know not how to swing no more. So that's a new analogy. I've never, like, it's usually the bicycle thing, but now, like, when it comes to swinging, yeah. Like, because when you first start, it's like, I don't know how to fucking. I kick my feet, I'm kicking them, but I'm not moving. But once you get the mechanism right, and the swing motion down pat, and you know how to groove with it, it's like, oh, this is simple, and you never forget how to swing. And so it's just like, okay, I have the skills. As long as I keep writing and keep updating what I'm doing, I'ma always be prepared. And so, like, yeah, I just got to keep that in mind. Like, my time will come. Yeah. Just, I kind of relate this to being punished all the time. Like, I used to get punished a lot as a child. My dad was big onto corporal punishment. That's the one. Whichever one, it requires the belt. Yeah. There you go. Okay, so yeah, and then after that, it would be like, all right, now you're grounded for a week, 2 weeks. I've been grounded for a month before. 2 months. So it's just like, I've been grounded to where there was no set time. It's just like, you grounded until I say you're not grounded. And I'm like, mentally, I am fucked up by this statement. What do you mean I'm grounded until I'm not grounded? So I just gotta be good? Like, I'm trying not to fuck up in school, Daddy. I swear I am. But, things happen. I see the opportunity to make people laugh. And I have to capitalize on the opportunity for some reason. I don't know why. It's in my brain. A business venture. He had no idea. He was just like, oh, so you was gonna be a comedian this whole time. I had no idea. We didn't know. We was all learning. I'm like, damn, well, now I have something to teach my child. And it's a different route. Just to know that sometimes they're not bad children. They just need a different way. Like you said, they need a different way to be taught. And now that I've been older now, and I still deal with those little triggers to where it's like, I don't know how long this is going to take, and no one's here to tell me that, this is when it's going to happen. I'd probably feel more comfortable if I knew when it was going to happen, but like, how would they know? Like, as long as I keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing, eventually it's going to come.
Eventually. And I think this really circles back to the idea of teaching and educating. My students, they're like, why are we learning this? Where is this going to come into play? And they don't realize that every step that you teach them is going to lead into the next level of math that they do in the next level of thought and logical reasoning. And sometimes they don't understand the math then when you teach them in the first 5 minutes. But at the end of the lesson, they're like, oh, this is easy. This is calm. This is light work, especially when you give them the quick 5-question test. And I think, I don't know, teaching is the closest thing I've experienced to being like God almost, where you have a bunch of people in your face trying to tell you that what you're saying is wrong, and they're like, what is this? What the fuck going on? I want to be this now, and I want to get this now, and this, and they have all of these behavioral things, and
you gotta learn
you have to be in that space of like, your time will come. You will understand it soon. It will all become clear. Do not fear. Just stick with me and trust in the process, and you will get to where you need to go.
I look at it as like a video game. Like, as soon as you start playing that video game, the first time you start playing, you're not good at it. They give you the skills to learn what you got to do. But eventually, as you put the hours in, you become superb at the game. And it's just like, I can get through this board easy. Okay. It just takes time. And it's like, well, this was fun during the time that I had to take to do it, but in the beginning I was mad because I was like, my dude is sucky, his power level ain't high, and my coordination with the skills and the moves that I'm doing, I'm not there yet. But as long as you get more attributes and you learn more things in the game, you learn how to juke, how to move, how to slide to the side, and it's like, oh, I know how to do this now. And it within time things get easier. You just have to be patient.
Have to be patient. I don't know if you've seen Harry Potter, but I've noticed in all the movies, the problem, the biggest issue or the biggest battle that they had in the last movie becomes like sort of a cliff note in the next movie, because they'll have a even
foreshadowing.
And I think that's such a beautiful thing, that sometimes the problem or issue or obstacle that you have now seems so crazy and grand, and there's gonna come a time later where that problem comes to you and you're just like, oh, this is light. Well, this is yesterday's work, because now you have something more complicated.
This in the last series.
Yeah, we did this in the last series. Hermione and that was in the cut. You know what I'm saying? And Malfoy, and
I'm a beast at Quidditch now, nigga.
Like, niggas can't touch me on that golden ball, okay? And I think that's such a beautiful thing in life, that like with your art, with whatever you're doing, like, the problems that are big fish now is going to be a sardine later. And you just have
come on, fishes. Come on, fishes. Fuck yeah. What?
Yes, and you got to trust that they will become a sardine, and that you'll add them to your slice of pizza when you have something like a shark coming your way.
Let them know, Laji.
Yeah.
God damn. All right. Hell yeah. See, that's how you end it right there. That's what. Whew, all right. Now we've see, everybody's like, what we gonna talk about? I was like, don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah, you see, I was like, I don't know what this is gonna be.
It comes. Yeah. Boom. Now, to break up the monotony of things, I like to play a game of choices with everybody.
Ooh.
And this has become a bigger thing now, which is, at one point I was gonna stop doing it, but I was like, nah, man, this is unique to me. I'm gonna keep doing this. So you got 4 options, you got 4 choices.
Okay.
All right. Let's see what my power look like. We're fine. We're all right.
All right.
And so you got 4 options and 4 choices. All right. You got, what your options are, you got to be one, you got to raise one, you got to sell one, you got to have relations with the other one.
Be one, raise one, sell one, relations.
Yes.
Like, what kind of relations?
Whatever type of relations you feel, you can fuck it, you can make love to it, you can just be like, oh, this is a really good friend, this is a roommate, have a type of relations that you want. All right, and then your choices are a mermaid, a mogwai. A mogwai is, have you ever seen Gremlins?
Nah.
The movie Gremlins? Okay, don't worry. I got you.
Sorry.
I got you.
I don't know it all.
I'll let everybody know. Usually I'll have the shirt on, but I didn't need the shirt on today because I've been wearing it too much. Gizmo is a... Oh, there we go. That's a mogwai.
All right.
The Gremlins, the whole thing about Gremlins, you can't feed them after midnight, and if they get wet... Yeah.
Wasn't there like a racial thing about that? Like,
was there?
Was it like an analogy for black people almost?
Oh shit!
I've
never heard that.
I feel like I've heard that somewhere. That's an analogy for black people. That's racist. But apparently so. Okay.
Right, you got a mermaid, a mogwai, a Mexican, and a manatee.
Mermaid, mogwai, Mexican, and manatee.
Be one, raise one, sell one, relations with the other one.
All right. B1, mermaid, mogwai,
Mexican
manatee. Oh,
yeah.
shit. And I drank a little bit before.
It's okay.
B1.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to be a mermaid.
Okay.
Yeah, because like the bad bitch mermaid, like I want the
Halle
bundles.
Bailey.
Hello.
Halle Bailey's a mermaid. Jason Momoa's a mermaid.
Exactly.
So,
I'm trying to have that mid part bust down as a mermaid. My skills is fly type shit. I want French tip, nails, everything. Like I want to be bust down mermaid. Sell one. I'm gonna have to sell the Magwai. Sorry to him. I just learned about you today, but you look sellable though. It looks profitable. I feel like the
that's how Calamity started. It got sold. Yeah, it got sold by a little Chinese gift shop owner.
I'm just gonna make money from that.
The shit. So yeah, get rid of that burden.
Mermaid selling Magwai. That's my brand. And then you said relations and
it'd be,
raise one.
Yes.
Okay, I would raise a manatee. I feel like, manatees seem chill. I feel like I could teach them a little bit of algebraic equations, a little quadratic formula action.
They were endangered at one point.
They were, I got to raise them up. I got to show them what it means to be a black manatee and, what it means to not go extinct. And then relations with a Mexican. I mean, some of my closest friends are Mexican.
Speaking into the camera. Some of my
closest friends, Hispanic Heritage Month is coming up. Shout out to my boo Nancy.
Type of races over here.
We are colorblind. No, relations with a Mexican.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
friends.
that's fun. That's always fun. I love people's thought process whenever it goes down. And they're like, oh, nigga, you put me in a box. You put yourself in a box. You put yourself in a box. You saw where this was going.
You know what was happening. You know what this is about.
Yes. Oh, awesome. All right.
Shout out to
Laji. Hell yeah. Let everybody know where they can follow you at.
Yes. All right. So follow me at Laji verse LajiVerse. I create universes, poetic verses, and dramatic verses. I'm all of the above. Ooh, catch it.
I love that.
Catch it, Brandon. And you can find me at Lajiverse at Instagram and the Tick of Talk. Okay, I am on both. I be ticking and Instagramming. So be on the lookout. Things is changing. Times is there's a new season of our life, so this is a time to watch.
We talked about it. They see what it is.
Mm-hmm. You see it.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Well, this has been boom. This has been the Maniacal Menace. This has been Tell Me a Joke, the guideline of chasing the dream. I have been the Maniacal Menace, Kyle Smith. Said the whole thing like a pimp named Slickback. And until next time, keep dreaming, jokers.
Yeah.
All right.